Chapter 2, Grief Casserole. 1 week later, at the drunk tank. While Tristan nurses a drink at the bar, you stand behind the counter, sorting through a pile of old paperwork from Uncle Tommy's lockbox. There's not a single thing in here that looks like a bit lead back to Big V. Why the hell would she target Uncle Tommy now all these years later? What do you say we pick this up after Uncle Tommy's tribute? You shake her head without even glancing in Tristan's direction, eyes focused on the tea-stained document in front of you. No one's even here yet. Tristan comes around the counter and takes hold of your waist from behind, lovingly resting his chin atop your shoulder. When we decided to postpone our nuptials, it was with the understanding you needed time to grieve. He gently wiggles the pieces of paper from your hands. This isn't grieving. This is you throwing yourself into your work. Frustrated, you whip around to face him. Well, what do you want me to do, Tristan? You want me to ignore the murder case right in front of me? You may not be a detective by trade, but even you know that every day, every hour counts. Tristan calmly leans the palms of his hands against the counter on either side of you, raising a sympathetic gaze to meet yours. I would never ask you to give up on the case altogether. Good, because all I care about right now is getting justice for Uncle Tommy, my flesh and blood. You push past Tristan's arm and return the paperwork to the lockbox. Are you saying I don't want justice? I want whoever is responsible to pay just as much as you. Sensing your distress, Alice nudges your hand with her wet nose and whines. Her concern prompts you to take a calming, deep breath and give her an indulgent scratch behind the ear. Everything's gonna be okay, girl. You turn back around, finally rising to meet Tristan's gaze. You note the anxiety-ridden expression behind his eyes as he begins to soften. I'm not trying to upset you, I'm merely suggesting more of a balance. Is that too much to ask for? Why don't you just say what this is really about? It's written all over your face. I told you what it's about. You take Tristan's hand, cutting the tension-filled distance between you with a simple gesture. It's not the fact that we postponed the wedding, because if you're feeling resentful, you can say it. He lowers his gaze, careful to meet your eyes with his. You know that if I had my way, I'd marry you right here and now. But until that day comes, I'm here to support you, however you need it. I just hope that you still want to marry me. Our wedding is important to me, but not a priority. I still want to spend the rest of my life with you. It's just that you don't have time for a wedding. Tristan takes a step back, conflicted. I owe it to Uncle Tommy. Tristan nods, trying hard to cover his hurt. You understand that, don't you? I'm trying. Well, then maybe try a little harder. Excuse me, try harder? Triggered, Tristan steps in closer and raises his voice, clearly upset. I'm trying my damnedest to support you in one of the worst times in your life, but you make it so difficult. You've been shutting me out at every single turn. His words set you off as well. You rise to meet his gaze, puffing your chest out against his. Don't you think I know that? This isn't easy for me. But I don't want to lose anyone else. I'm so overwhelmed. Have to know what happened. I'm so overwhelmed. You smack your fist on the bar as you yell. There's so much going on, and The bang sends the room shaking, and you freeze. Did you just... Either we experienced the elusive New York City earthquake, or we unlocked a hidden palace tunnel. My money's on the earthquake. You both turn to the wall behind the bar, and it has moved, revealing a hidden door. Looks like you owe me $20. Well, maybe Tommy had a stack of cash hidden back here I can pay with. You share a smirk with Tristan, the tension between you dispersing, at least for now. Alice leads the way, already sniffing under the door. You inch into the mysterious new entrance in trepidation. Tristan offers his hand, and you grab it with a tight squeeze. You okay, Chloe? I'm not even surprised anymore. Nothing about my life has been conventional. Why wouldn't Uncle Tommy have a secret door behind his bar? So you're prepared to see what's inside? Whatever it is, I'm strong enough to face it, as long as you're here with me. Always. You take a deep breath and turn the knob, flinging the door open. Interesting. Inside you find a small makeshift office. Stacks of boxes line every wall, while papers are strewn across the wooden desk. Looks like fun times are in here. This place is a mess. And dustier than the palace's crypts. You pull on the string of a light bulb hanging above your head. The bulb is dim, but it's enough to reveal a bulletin board on the back wall, a few half-open desk drawers, and a tall row of filing cabinets. Uncle Tommy must have been working on a case until the very end. Your mind flashes back to what your uncle said minutes before the wedding. I planned on waiting until after the ceremony to tell you this, but it's about your dad. The investigation of his death, I have a lead as to who may be responsible. I have a feeling I know which case. Let's check out the bulletin board. You look over the conspiracy-style red string connecting several thumbtacked photographs. He was putting together a suspect board. Alice sits at your heel and growls. What is it, girl? Your gaze moves across the board, looking in on a photo of Nico Borodin? That's a blast from the past. I haven't even thought about Nico since we rescued Maddie from him and the Solonik twins. You take Tristan's phone and shine the light on the surrounding photographs of other individuals. All these guys are known mafiosos or have ties to the mafia. Except for one. He points to a photograph of your dad, tacked side by side with a photograph of the stadium in which he was killed. Filing cabinets. You peer over the tab names of the endless row of case files. Dex Hamper, Fiona Kioskis, Victor Brownstone. Do any of these names ring a bell? You stumble back with surprise, luckily Alice breaks your fall. Yeah, I'll say. Those are all cases my dad worked on. You thumb through the files, recognizing even more names. My dad or Uncle Tommy told me about a good chunk of these, but some of these, even I don't know. Let's check out the desk drawers. You open the desk drawers and rifle through the useless papers and junk. Hey, one person's trash is another man's treasure. This is all trash. Alice paws at a spiral notebook on the ground and barks. Good find, Detective Alice. You pick it up and immediately recognize Uncle Tommy's chicken scratch on the cover. What is it? You flip through the ripped-up pages, most of them coffee and food-stained. Scuffed-up white high tops with dark green stripes on either side. Section 203, row D, seats 12, 13, box 32. Are those... I think they're seats for a baseball stadium? Or a... Yeah... The seats my dad and I had the day he died, yeah. Uncle Tommy jotted down every detail about the day my father died, from the sneakers he was wearing to the seats we were in. And I can't make out all the notes, but they've been blacked out with a marker. What were you up to, Tommy? With a heavy sigh, you look around the office, putting the pieces together. The board, the notebooks, the case files? It can't all be coincidence. No coincidence. Everything in this office tracks back to my dad. My God. Uncle Tommy tried to tell me he'd found something. He never told me anything. He came to visit me on the morning of the wedding. He said he was following a lead. Anything? That's all. The next time I saw him, he was escorting me down the aisle. And then... Your voice trails before you could let yourself go there, pushing away the memory as another takes its place. Well, if you two are determined to plow ahead, I've been digging through Jimmy's old files. Really? I thought it was too much for you. All this stuff with the city got me thinking. Won't be easy, but when you're ready to figure out what happened to your dad, I am too. He was also trying to tell us something before we left for Dracovia. What? When? When we were celebrating our first case. It didn't seem important then, not just that he was going to open some old case files, standard protocol for any cold case. This is a lot more than some. No kidding. And you don't collect this amount of dust in just a few months. I hate to say it, but it's like Uncle Tommy. He stops himself, hesitant to say it aloud, but you finish the thought for him. It's like he never learned to let go. He was hell-bent on chasing closure he never got. I can't blame him for wanting justice for your dad. But look at all this. It consumed him. That's no way to live. I wish there was something I could have done to help him, but he must have felt so lonely. Tristan rubs his eyes as you glance around the room, your mind made up. I need to tell Mafalda about this. You're thinking that is why Uncle Tommy was targeted, aren't you? Someone was clearly trying to stop him from uncovering the truth behind my father's murder. Whatever demons your uncle was battling in the end, at least he died because of the actions he chose to make. This time, I've been feeling guilty, thinking it was because of something I did, or because he was related to me. Once again, Tristan rubs his eyes. Ugh. Did an eyelash get in your eye or something? Oh, those are so annoying. He points behind the desk. No, there's this weird glint coming from over there. Tristan bends down and plucks a small, circular disc that's wedged between the desk and the wall. He holds it up. Strange, it looks like some sort of cipher? But to what? I don't know. Possibilities are literally endless. Could be the missing key to everything. Tommy had this here for a reason. Maybe we should take it into evidence. I just got this feeling that it will lead us to something. Look at you, trusting your gut. What can I say? You're rubbing off on me. You turn the cipher in your hand, considering. Really? Hey guys, if we take the cipher, it'll gain us evidence. Otherwise, we gain nothing. You carefully take the cipher from Tristan's hand and inspect it. Covered in dust, just like the rest of the room. You look a bit closer, which may actually be helpful in this case. Take your flashlight back out. Tristan shines his phone light at the cipher, curious looking over your shoulder. Do you see those scratched, dust-free letters? Fingerprints. Looks like the phrase HLO at the very least. It's like Wordle come to life. Except we don't know how long the phrase is. You rack your brain trying to think of a word with those letters in them. Maybe it's... Oh no! I hate you so much. HOL. Alright, give me a minute. Seriously, I've been racking my brain and I can't figure it out. HOL, it could be anything. hello, hotel, hold. He literally states it could be anything. You know what? Let's just go with it. Let's just... I think this is just a LOL moment. Hello. Well, hello to you too. You really think it's hello? It has all the letters. But even if it is hello, without the rest of the message, there's no way to know what it means. As you spin the cipher round and round, a sudden memory clicks into place. A few months earlier, you sit at the bar drinking a cold one, while frustrated Uncle Tommy stands behind the counter fiddling with something out of your eye line. Oh, I swear this thing is more trouble than it's worth. Struggling with the keg refill again? Funny, no, it's this damn cipher. He holds up the wheel, your brow furrowed in confusion. That's what you've been messing with back there. I thought you'd become an addicted to one of those fidget spinner toys. Har har. You gonna keep making jokes or offer me some help? You join him behind the counter. You take the cipher from his hand and hide it away in a drawer. There, problem solved. If you're trying to break or give your brain some exercise, I suggest Sudoku. Uncle Tommy shakes his head with an amused smile. Another beer? Yes, please. I can't believe I didn't recognize it sooner. Uncle Tommy was fiddling with this very cipher a few months ago. Do you think he was trying to signal something to you, you know, without actually saying it outright? Maybe, but we can't resort to revisionist history. We can hypothesize all we want. It won't change a damn thing. You stare at the cipher in your hand. I'll never get to ask him. I'll never find out what I missed. Interesting. What? I've never known you to be such a defeatist. Okay, so Uncle Tommy didn't spell things out for you. That doesn't mean we can't pick up where he left off. Tristan's encouragement as you taking a second look around the chaotic office, and another thing clicks into place. You're right, the Mafia photos, Uncle Tommy's notebook, the case files, the cipher, they have to be connected. Exactly. You glance at the photo of you and Uncle Tommy displayed on this desk, and become a bit wistful. You certainly didn't make it easy, Uncle Tommy. But then again, you never did. I just have to trust that when the time is right, everything you were trying to tell me will come to light. You turn back to face Tristan, who stares back at you with a raised brow. Don't look at me like that. I know it looks bad now, but Tommy never half-assed his work. It's all we gotta go on right now. We just have to be patient. Tristan chuckles. You patient? What's that supposed to mean? You're one of the most impatient, stubborn people I know. In fact, it's one of your most endearing and infuriating qualities. You shake your head, guilty as charged. I guess I deserve that. For what it's worth, I don't think any of this looks bad at all. Looks like we've got ourselves a little bit of a lead. So, Chapter 2. Cipher. And then something tells me as we go further, and we'll know what the cipher means more. Out from the main bar, Luke and Ruby call out to you. Chloe, Tristan, we're here. And with a 12-pound grief casserole, no less. What the hell is a grief casserole? I'm serious. Alice races to the door and starts barking. Sounds like our guests have arrived. You and Tristan lean against the doorframe as Luby and Luke bicker in the bar. You're not supposed to tell him it's a grief casserole, Luke. They're in mourning. I stand corrected. It's a celebration of life casserole. Alice greets your friends with a wagging tail and jumps up to get a whiff of the casserole. You can leave the sympathy dish on the counter. We have something to show you. Luke and Ruby look over, shocked to see the newly revealed secret room. Okay, that was not there before. Oh, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You lead the duo into the office and they survey your discovery. Everything Uncle Tommy has leads back to my father's murder. Like some sort of evidence room. More like a time capsule. Sorry to say, Chloe, but it looks like Uncle Tommy lost it. Ruby nudges Luke on the arm with a stern look. Or maybe Tommy was just very dedicated. Did he ever just mention this was on this sort of mission? He always was working a new angle, but there's something from our last day together that keeps playing in my mind. I keep thinking about his wedding gift. Right before the ceremony started, he gave me a gift. Oh God, Tommy's last gift to his niece. My heart can hardly handle it. What was it? A photo of me and my dad. He wanted me to be there with me on my big day. Ruby and Luke exchange a sympathetic look. Show them the cipher. A cipher. Did I get transported back thousands of years? You hold it up and Ruby quickly snatches it from your hands. Luke wasn't kidding about thousands of years. This is a nod to the Roman Empire. How are you so sure? It's missing the letters J-U-W. They weren't added to the Latin alphabet until after Rome fell. Ah, the Romans. I guess Tommy was as obsessed with them as the next guy. Not really. You continue to eye Ruby with skepticism, waiting for an explanation. Oh, I used to date a renowned antiquer. Did I not mention that part? Wait, what? Anything else you can tell us? She inspects it more closely. I probably should have paid more attention when Harry talked shop. She then hands it back to you with a shrug. I'd say I could call him, but we didn't exactly end on great terms. Shocker. Well, what about the autopsy? Did it lead to any new information? Ruby's face falls, and she goes in uncharacteristically quiet. Are you sure you really want to talk about that now? Maybe we should focus on why we're here to celebrate Tommy. It's part of the job. I've analyzed dozens of autopsies in my career, hundreds probably. But how many of those have been of your actual family members? Ruby's looking out for you. She makes a good point. This is going to hit very differently. It's personal. Which is only more reason I have to know now. It's my responsibility to get justice for Uncle Tommy. If there's a lead I should be chasing, I need to know now. You see the hurt in her face and then close your eyes and take a breath, settling your anger. I didn't mean to... I'm sorry, Ruby, you're my friend. I want to know what you found. Perhaps this is better discussed back in the main room. To everyone's visible relief, you nod and return to the bar. You take a seat at one of the high tops and wait for Ruby to begin. When I began, I was hopeful to find something, but unfortunately, I don't have the answers you were hoping for. What does that mean? It was a clean shot, most likely a professional hit, just like Mafalda proclaimed at the scene. And the bullet? It was scrubbed. It'd be near impossible to identify the weapon model. I'm sorry, Chloe. Tristan places a comforting arm on your shoulder, but you shrug it off as rage courses through your veins. So we have absolutely zero leads to go off of, except for this whacked-out office. I may be able to provide another avenue. Luke pulls out his tablet, starts typing away, pushes it across the screen, and where you see Uncle Tommy's face, staring you back. A dossier on Uncle Tommy? Is there a reason you compiled information on him without telling me? It wasn't to upset you. It was the only gift I could think of to give you. To know more about his life and to celebrate him. It's actually rather sweet when you put it like that. Maybe this could even help lead us to whoever is responsible for his death. Read the dossier. This is the perfect gift. Thank you, Luke. Luke hands you the tablet and you steel yourself as you begin to read the dossier. Classified document, Tommy Green, age 60, small business owner of Drunk Tank, deceased. Family, I think you know this better than me. Notes. Jimmy Rose and Tommy Green were a great team on the force. While Green hyperfixated on small details, Jimmy always found a way to center him. After Detective Rose's death, Green fixation no longer had guardrails. He began to see connections that weren't there, negatively impacting his work. Introed your parents by inviting a sister to work event, where she and Jimmy hit it off. After her sister died from postpartum complications, only became closer with Jimmy, Rose, and the surviving child. That's you, buddy. Became your legal guardian, per your father's will, after his death. After reading, you set the tablet down on the high top, a chill. Memories of your childhood immediately flood your mind. I haven't thought about some of those details in years. Way to make her upset, Luke. What did you put in there? Tristan rests a gentle hand on your back. Your dad. And my mom. Tristan trades concerned glances with Ruby and Luke. We've known each other for years, and I don't know if I've ever heard you talk about her. She was Tommy's sister. My mom and I never had a relationship. I'm so sorry, friend. Never in my entire life on this planet have I ever looked at one of my friends when they're going through anything and been like, I'm so sorry, friend. Oh my god. I was so young when she passed, so it was just me and my dad growing up and Uncle Tommy. That explains you following in your dad's footsteps. Yeah, we became mom and dad. I wouldn't change that relationship for the world. My only memories of her are secondhand stories from Uncle Tommy or my dad. Lucky for me, they love to tell me. I think the technical term for this is called foxtalgia, a feeling nostalgic for something you didn't personally experience. And sometimes there are feelings we have that can't be explained away by science. I can't help but wonder what my mom would think of all this. What would you ask her first? I mean, all I can think about right now is Uncle Tommy's secret room. Was he always this intense when it came to his cases? According to the dossier, no. Tristan mumbles under his breath. You know, until your dad died. If you ask me, it's definitely genetic. You playfully elbow him. Hey, I heard that. And that's fair. Maybe that's why he didn't want my help. He knew if we've got similar work ethics. So, this was his way of making sure you didn't get sucked into. To spare me the frustration and heartache, I guess. Or he didn't want to burden you. You were planning your own wedding, after all. Tristan refrains from chiming in, but his gaze pointedly catches yours. Was there a particular case that led Tommy to parting ways with the Force? Luke leans over and pulls up another page on the tablet, detailing your uncle's old cases. More like a series of old cases. Chloe's dad was his moral compass after he passed. Until Tommy went rogue. His instincts were second to none, but he didn't have time for red tape and bureaucracy. His departure seemed to be encouraged, if you know what I mean. The outspoken criticism of the police system probably didn't help. The whole squeaky wheel theory. Do you think one of the higher-ups at the Force could have potentially? You quickly wave off the notion. No, it was Big V who ordered the hit. But then you let the thought sink in for a moment. But that doesn't mean it wasn't a favor. The mob often gets their claws in powerful people. It would only be natural they were mixed up in the police force as well. The commissioner or chief of police may have been feeling the pressure back then. Push Uncle Tommy to leave the force or else. And now Big V ordered someone to finish the job. You know, Mafalda should be here in a minute. She was on the force when Tommy was ousted. Maybe she can shed some light on this. Luke's words spark a rage inside you, fueled by frustration and guilt. And learn there's another adult in my life I trusted who kept the truth from me. If Mafalda knows something he never told me, if she... Tears sting your eyes and your heart begins to pound. What I mean is, you try to breathe normally, but the pain you're battling with is written all over your face. Hey. It's okay. You've been holding it together for days. This is the time to let it out if you have to. Surrounded by your friends. A tear escapes and you quickly dab it dry, angry with yourself. Damn it, today was my chance to celebrate Uncle Tommy's life. But instead I learned he's not the man I knew. That I was a terrible niece. How about neither of those? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like either of these choices. You know, that was the man we knew, so I don't know, I'm gonna go with terrible news. Because of the whole, she's crying and upset. Tommy would never want you to talk like that. You were a great niece. You're proving it now by showing how much you care. It's a little too late. He's gone. I have to live with the guilt and that I let him down when he needed me most. Your breathing quickly becomes more and more shallow as the loss of your uncle hits you like a sack of bricks weighing on your chest. I can't keep talking about this. I know what you need. Comfort food. Luke, cut her a piece of the casserole. Please, she doesn't want a slice of your half-baked condolence dish. Half-baked? I'll let you know, I followed the recipe to the letter. Would you two stop bickering? I don't care about some stupid casserole. Tristan quickly swoops in and takes you in his arms. I think what Chloe meant is that she would benefit from some fresh air. Roger that. We'll meet you two at the venue. Mafalda should be here soon. Anyway. We'll take Alice with us too, so you don't have to worry about her. Ruby and Luke give you one final look before Tristan promptly escorts you to the drunk tank's roof. You stand at the railing's edge, looking at the cityscape before you. Tristan sidles up next to you, but anger still pounds in your ears. I need some fresh air, really? You're getting yourself worked up. Let's take a breath for a minute. I don't see a problem with the way I acted. Sometimes when people are hurting, they don't. I don't know how to not be upset. Also very valid. And I don't need a handler. It's so tough, because grief is... Well, we'll just talk about it at the end of the video, but it's very hard. I don't know how not to be upset. Everything is hitting me all at once. You've been bottling it all up. You were bound to explode sooner or later. Explode? I am not exploding. His brow raises at you pointedly. I swear if the next words out of your mouth are, I told you so. He places a hand on the small of your back, rubbing in gentle, smoothing manner. It's beautiful up here. The crisp breeze of the city at night, the smell of the fresh geraniums. I think Uncle Tommy planted them while we were in Jacovia. Really? I wouldn't have suspected an ex-detective to have a green thumb. I think Sophia had a helping hand. Tristan's tactic begins to work. You relax your clenched jaw and your breathing slowly returns to normal. Tristan, I'm sorry. I just need a little more patience from you. I thought this was me being patient. Maybe I just need a bit more from you, but if that's too much to ask for... He cut you off before you can finish the thought, taking your hand in his. We have the rest of our lives to look forward to. What's a few more days? I'm sorry I haven't made this easy on you. I'm inspiring, like every little thing has me on edge. You shake off the nagging feeling of impending doom when then Tristan cups Tristan's cheek in your hand. But I refuse to fall deeper in some black hole, not when I have you by my side. Where else would I be? I don't have anywhere to go. After all, I dig up ruling Dracovia for you. I'm serious. I'm grateful for you. You're the only thing keeping me from getting completely drowned in this mess. Presses a gentle kiss to your palm before taking your hand in his once more. I'm serious too, apology accepted, though I hope you know you certainly don't owe me one. What's that old American saying? Love means never having to say you're sorry. Okay, that was cheesy. Even for you. But I appreciate the sentiment. Tristan's gaze finds yours, serious, but with a spark of something else behind his eyes. What do you say we hit the pause button on the case, just for now? It's not like we can get much investigating done at this moment, anyway, and we can't start the tribute until Mafalda arrives. And what exactly do you have in mind during this pause? I don't know about you, but I think we should use a little alone time to connect. Besides, he lifts your chin and then moves and closes, lips stilling just a breath away from yours. Your pulse races in anticipation as his voice drops to a husky whisper. It's been ages since I've been able to kiss you properly. You blink back at him, mind reeling, your body suddenly aching for him. Enjoy some alone time with Tristan, or pull away. I really haven't been a pocket full of sunshine these days, huh? Even leading up to the wedding. Tristan laughs with a snort. When are you ever a pocket full of sunshine? Hey, I'm plenty sunny. He reaches for your waist and reels you back into his hold. The day you become a cheery snowflake is the day I'll really start to worry about you. I usually brighten up under the right conditions. Care to share what those right conditions are? You meet his gaze with a flirty glint, your voice taking on a sultry tone. I could share that with you, but isn't it too much fun to find out on your own? Preston leans in, dropping a gentle kiss against her neck. You shiver in delight. Fun indeed. The cool breeze hits your cheeks, and you let your eyes drift shut for a brief moment. Being up here, just the two of us, brings back a lot of memories. Like a grand gesture. You nod, slipping your fingers underneath the fabric of his shirt, your fingers kneading up his back. I still can't believe Tommy redecorated his roof, much less kept all of it. I'm a man of refined taste and very persuasive. Oh, I'm aware of that. Tristan's hands wrap around you, rubbing the small of your back lovingly. If I recall correctly, it was this very spot where we officially got together. You can't help but chuckle. I'm sure you did. Right before you flipped the bird, your mom got kidnapped by your sister. I mean, technically it was flip the bird, but also kidnapped too. It was both. Tristan looks away sheepishly. You just had to bring that up, didn't you? I'm still embarrassed I had to board the plane before making a stand. Oh, don't be. It was the hottest thing a partner's ever done for me. Tristan laughs and pulls you in even closer, pressing his hips against yours. Hot, you say? Maybe even steamy. You slip out of his hold and saunter to the bench. You pat the spot beside you, inviting him over. Don't mind if I do. He sits and the two of you cozy up to one another as you both take in the New York skyline. Uncle Tommy used to talk about how beautiful the view is from up here. Let me guess, you never took time to check it out for yourself? Who has time for that? Duty calls. Or maybe you weren't waiting for the right partner to share the moment with. You turn to face him, your eyes quickly drawn to his slightest parted lips. Your heart begins to beat faster. Prop my legs on his lap, kiss his palm. Though I suppose there are things more important than the stars. Exactly what I was thinking. Without breaking his gaze, you bring his palm to your lips, brushing it tenderly. Chloe. His fingers tremble as your mouth drops over to his wrist with another kiss. The teasing only drives the two of you closer. Unable to resist any longer, he grabs your face and brings you in for another kiss. Your lips press against each other hard. You sound surprised. Did you not need that as much as I did? I think I needed it even more. He pulls you back in for another, parting your lips with an eager tongue leading you into a sensual dance. His hands quickly drop to your sides, getting reacquainted with the curves of your body. Still as you remembered? It's been too long since we've taken the time to appreciate each other. Which is crazy. Seeing as you're so persistent, always ready, willing to meet my every need. What can I say? I like my partner to be fully satisfied. You bring his hands to your chest, your eyes flutter shut as he cups a breast in each hand. Is this how to get you there? It's a damn good start. You lean in and meet him with another kiss, this time your lips not wanting to part from his. Your tongue sweeps his lower lip, earning you a groan of pleasure. Oh, God. Planning our wedding created too much added stress for both of us. Uh-huh. You continue to speak between kisses, spent and breathless. I begin to, lose sight of what mattered. What matters is our bodies. Our mouths. In sync. Using each other to let go of what's holding us back. His mouth trapezes to your earlobe, his voice growing low and husky. Lucky for you, I know a great stress reliever. You meet his smirk with one of your own. Lucky for you, I do too. I should climb into his lap, pull Tristan on top of me. You push him back against the bench and climb on top, straddling his waist. If I knew this would do the trick, I would have brought you up to the roof sooner. It's not the roof, it's you. It's always been you. He cradles your waist, gripping you tight as you grind your hips against him. You lean down and pepper his neck with kisses. His moans grow higher each time you press against his skin. Ugh. Your mouth finds their way back to each other, tongues wrestling for control. As your tongues twine together, your desire for Tristan only grows, sparking to a raging fire. You're insatiable tonight. You're intoxicating. Tristan's hands slip under your clothes and slither up your back. His fingernails rake down your body and you arch into him in reply. Your hands are so warm. Just imagine what else I can do with them. He uses those warm hands to pull you closer, pressing your chest into his. Tristan. Suddenly a car horn blares, the two of you immediately still on the bench in shock. Who the hell? Watch it be Mafalda. You untangle yourself from Tristan and peer onto the street below, still catching your breath. Mafalda. Yep, she just pulled up. Why would you honk? I knew I was working on borrowed time, but I assure you, the first chance I get, I plan to pick up where we left off. You savor the fleeting moment with one last taste of each other's lips. And you head downstairs together. You and Tristan return to the bar to find Mafalda digging in one of the filing cabinets inside the secret office. Mafalda, hey. What are you... Chloe, you gotta stop sneaking up on people like that. I'd like to know what the hell you're doing in the super secret office that no one should have told you about. She whips around, hands tight around an unmarked manila folder. When someone passes, most people simply take jewels, clothing as mementos. A secret case file is new to me. Oh my god, you knew about this place, didn't you? Then Uncle Tommy had some kind of hidden office. Yes, I did. It's time you know what really happened with your father all those years ago. On next time! Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Before I talk about something, I'm gonna toss the cat out the nearest window. I'm sure you heard it meowing during some of this video. Some of you typically call it out, but, you know, he likes to have some attention, you know? So, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, head down to the pinned comment. Consider supporting the channel. Otherwise, let's have a talk. Grief. Grief is a very complicated mistress. So let's get into it. So long story short is no one, as I was saying during the video, no one acts a certain way, right? You know, the best semblance I can have for this is something that happened to me very recently in terms of my medical condition, and I had someone that, you know, I don't talk about at all really on this channel, but someone who literally had the audacity to go, you know, are you sure that you have the issues that you have? And I just, oh man, it was kind of a shock to me. And I looked at him and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? They're going, you just don't act like a person should. And basically the way I've become is I'm, especially with them specifically, I don't like having my time wasted. And they were wasting my time. They literally and figuratively were. And a lot of people that I've talked to in my inner circles, as well as the Discord that we have for this community, pretty much agreed with me on that. And, like, so grief is quintessentially the same. Some of us, you know, go a lot of different ways. There's too many branches to talk about. Just if you've ever experienced true grief, you know what I'm talking about. And then you look at someone else and they handle grief entirely different. There's some people who, you know, just dive into their work and they don't have time to grieve. You'll never see them shed a tear. You'll never see them, you know, this or that. You know, I'm too busy. I got this going on. I got this going on. And they try and just keep their mind away from it. That's one specific type of individual. I myself have handled grief a myriad of different ways in my life. And tried to solve the mystery on how to handle it best. And I can tell you, after losing family members, loved ones, friends, the whole 9 yards, again, it is all different. So there's no cheat code to it. There really isn't. The only way I can say it best is I'm a person who just, at this point, the only advice I can give is to remember the good things, right? And then to kind of stay busy, but not too busy. You don't want to get like that. Because, again, like I said, I've done a myriad of things to try and find the cheat code, and there's no cheat code, to try and handle it best. And the only thing for me that's worked is, you know, keep yourself busy, but not too busy. Enjoy life, but realizing that, you know, just life is fleeting. Don't fear death, but also realize that it is something that does exist, and you should walk the line, I guess, to best enjoy your life. Realize that at any given moment, anyone in your life, unfortunately, may be gone a minute from now. And it doesn't make you... A lot of people are like, well, that doesn't sound like a way of living. You know, you don't build attachments. No, actually you do. And you cherish those attachments, and you want to make sure that you don't have a bunch of negativity with those people, because if those people bring in a bunch of negativity in your life or whatnot, you don't need those people in your life. You want people who are going to enjoy life with you. I get it, stuff happens in life, trust me, and it can be negative, but it's also how kind of like people handle it, and especially, you know, handle it together. And if people are, you know, bringing a lot of negative energy in your life, they just aren't meant to be in your life. It's nothing on you. It's, you know, could or could not be something on them, but just, yeah, no. It's your life. That's all I'm gonna say. You do you. For me, no. If you're, really, really super negative and bringing people down and you're like a black hole of emotions all the time and everything, that's coming from me. But I can typically, especially around a lot of people, I kind of pull the Robin Williams out of me where I just try and make people laugh. I try to make people happy, the whole nine yards. Even clown around, even make myself stupid just so they can get some amusement or, bring some lightheartedness to them or whatnot. Otherwise, if I wanted gloom and doom, trust me, I got plenty to sit and enjoy. But yeah, no, that's about the best way to put it. So hopefully you did enjoy the video. Otherwise, catch you all later. Peace out.